Hey YouTube, this is Trains and Destinations, and today I'm here with another laptop unboxing, so let's get right to it. So, as you can see, this is a Lenovo ThinkPad. This is the second ThinkPad that I believe this is the second ThinkPad I feature on my channel. The first ThinkPad was that Chromebook, which I just posted to my channel. If you have not seen the video yet, please check it out. That was a pretty cool unboxing. But today, this is a Windows laptop, a Windows Lenovo ThinkPad, and this is a lesser known model. This is not the X1 Carbon. You know, you have to realize, even though I do like laptops, the fact is I buy and sell laptops. I don't keep laptops for an extremely long period of time, and I'm not made of money. So I try to get these as cheap as possible. I won't say how much I got this for, but I won it in an auction for a really, really good price. And I think it's a great deal considering what I got. Now, specifically, this is the ThinkPad E585. So you might not have heard that model. Again, when people think of ThinkPad, they think the Yoga, or rather the Carbon, the X1 Carbon. Maybe the T series, like the T460. I don't know. I'm not super familiar with the Lenovo ThinkPad line, but I do know that the excuse me, I do know that the X1 Carbon's like the one that everyone talks about. So this one is a bit more unknown, and that makes it a little more special. So I can show you all what this laptop is like. Now, if you look at the box, it is a pretty bare box. You have your numbers and stuff and serial number, all that stuff on that side, but it actually doesn't tell you the specs. I actually had to look online for the specs because there's no info about this laptop by looking on the box. So let's go ahead first and open it up. As you can see, this is a 15-inch laptop, but the box really isn't that big. So I do like that, a little more environmentally conscious to try to pack everything into a smaller box. So first, we're going to go ahead and start by taking out the charger. And this is one thing I always like about Lenovo ThinkPads. I always like the chargers. As you can see, this is the power cable, and it is a two-prong plug, which is quite rare because most chargers have, you know, that third plug at the bottom. I believe it's the ground plug, but this one doesn't have it. It just has your two standard plugs, and it's a pretty thin cable at that. Laptop chargers tend to have much thicker cabling, but this is pretty much a standard. Like, this is the kind of power cord you would find for a lamp or really any standard accessory. So the fact that this is the cable for a laptop charger is pretty surprising, but I do like it. It's nice and thin. And I mean, just to compare, this is right here, this is an HP charger, and you can see how the cable is just a lot thicker. It's a lot thicker of a cable. As you can see on both ends, it's a very thick cable. But not with this guy. So let's go ahead and pull out the other part of the charger, which is way down here at the bottom. Let's see if I can get this out. Okay. It's stuck in there, so I'm going to pull out the laptop first, then we'll take out the charger. So as you can see, the laptop is protected by this nice foam, so nice amount of protection. So let's see if I can pull this out. Nope. Alright, let's do it this way. Okay, that's a lot easier. And let's go ahead and see if we can get the charger out. There we go. So throw the box down. And here's the other part of the charger. So you got your brick here in the middle. This particular laptop came out in 2019, so this charger was made January of 2019. Now, one thing I really like about this charger, first of all, the cable is nice and thin, like I said. I already showed the HP charger and how that was a lot thicker. But look at this. This laptop charges via USB Type-C. Now, I know MacBooks charge via Type-C, the Google Pixelbook does, and a couple of Chromebooks, but to see a Windows laptop charge via USB Type-C cable, it is really nice. It's not the most common thing yet. Most chargers still have barrel plugs. Again, going back to this HP charger, I believe apart from the Spectre, every HP uses this sort of barrel plug that's been used on HP laptops for at least 10 years or so. But I'm glad to see that Lenovo is progressing forward and using a Type-C charger. So inside the box, you do get the charger. You also get your little manual booklet thingy here, and that's about it. Now let's take a look at the laptop. So we'll go ahead and remove the foam. And as you can obviously see, this is a a black laptop. Let's go ahead and take it out of the packaging. There we go. And here's the laptop itself. So it is an all black laptop. The top is aluminum, so the whole top of the laptop is aluminum and pretty fingerprinty, as you can see. But that's just what to expect when you have a black laptop. Expect fingerprints. Otherwise, the other part of the laptop is all plastic. So this whole thing's made out of plastic except the cover. The cover is aluminum, everything else is plastic. And as you can see here on the bottom, you have, of course, all of your intake fans, and then the exhaust fan, I believe, is underneath the hinge. You got this nice, huge rubber stopper here, as well as two here in the corner. So it looks like if you were to put this thing on the desk, it will not move. I mean, this thing is just massive. And then you have your two speakers here. I'm normally not a fan of downward firing speakers. I like how on my HP laptops, you have your big front firing speaker. But that being said, as you can see, it is carved out here. So when you have this thing face down on a desk, the speakers are not necessarily obscured. So that is a plus. So for those who don't know, this is the Lenovo ThinkPad E585. You know, you might have not heard of it, but I think, again, that makes this unboxing cooler. Now, this is a lower-end ThinkPad, especially when I tell you the specs. As you can see from looking at the top, it's a very clean, very plain Jane, very business-like design. The only silver you have is the ThinkPad logo, but other than that, this is an all-black, very business-looking laptop. Now let's go ahead and check out the port selection, which is actually pretty scarce. So on the right-hand side, you have a micro SD card slot, USB 3.0 Type A port, and an Ethernet jack, as well as a Kensington lock, what you would expect. On the other side of the laptop, you have your USB Type-C charging port, HDMI, two more USB ports, and a headphone jack. So not a ton of ports. You'd expect a business laptop to have more ports, but, you know, I mean, it's enough. It'll get you going. It'll work. It'll, get the job done pretty much. So let's see if we can open this up. Okay, let's open it up. And then we'll remove our cover. And looking at the keyboard, this basically looks like pretty much a typical ThinkPad. So you got your standard ThinkPad keyboard. It sounds the same. It has sort of the same. It's like every other ThinkPad keyboard. So lots of travel, well-spaced keys. You got your trackpad nipple in the middle here. So this does have the trackpad nipple. Then you got your multi-touch trackpad, which you can click here. It's a very soft click, very subdued. But if you don't want to use the trackpad to click, you also got dedicated click buttons here. Now, one interesting thing about this laptop is, as you can see, this does have an AMD Ryzen 3 processor along with Radeon graphics. So ThinkPads typically have Intel processors, but this particular one has the AMD Ryzen 3 2200U with 4 gigabytes of RAM and a 500 gigabyte 7200 RPM hard drive. So yeah, this is, especially for a 2019 laptop, this is pretty low-end spec, especially considering it has a hard drive. But again, I mean, to be fair, it's not the end of the world. I think the processor saves it. So this thing is not going to be catastrophically slow. It should be fine. In fact, I expect that gaming performance on this shouldn't be too terrible for lower-end titles. But anyway, looking at the keyboard, typical Lenovo ThinkPad keyboard layout. As far as some of your individual controls, you got your volume control, screen brightness. Got a couple of other controls. This is Bluetooth. And look at that, I actually have a dedicated calculator button underneath on the equals key. I have a calculator button in the equals key, so that's pretty nice. Of course, you got your number pad here. Again, it's a full-size keyboard layout, so I'm pretty sure that typing on this will be a dream. Now, to compare it, I do have one of its competitors. I talk about HP a lot because I do currently own an HP laptop. So just to quickly show a difference, this here is my HP ProBook 450 G6. I got this pretty much a week ago, so I haven't made a video on it, but I probably will make a video on it soon. But essentially, this is the competitor. This has a Core i3 8145U, 4 gigs of RAM, and a 500 gig hard drive. And if we open it up, you can see that this is also a 15-inch laptop. Like the Lenovo, you got your number pad, you got your standard keyboard layout, got a big trackpad, although on the HP you don't have a nipple, you don't have the dedicated keys, but that's what you would expect. That being said, though, I do think this HP looks a bit more luxurious. It's also all metal, except the bottom. The keyboard deck's metal, the lid's metal, but the bottom is plastic, whereas on this guy, the lid is metal, but the keyboard deck and the underside are both plastic. But talking about speakers, I mean, you can see this HP, this speaker is massive. This front-firing speaker is just massive. And so the sound quality on this, after using it, is very good. No, this does not have the B&O speakers like HP's consumer line of laptops, but these are really good speakers, better than any business laptop that you would expect. But again, I'm not making a video on this. I just wanted to show it for comparison's sake. It's roughly the same size as the Lenovo. So again, I think I just wanted to show it all for comparison's sake. So anyway, now that I've showed off the laptop, let's go ahead and turn it on. Now, I'm not sure what kind of display this has. It looks like a TN panel. I'm not sure, though, if this is 1080p or 720p. It looks like it's 1366 by 768. It's a little hard to tell right now, so let this thing load up. But so far, so good. Got your little light here. It's illuminating. There's no backlighting for the keyboard. Again, this is more of a base ThinkPad, so there's no keyboard backlight. But let's just go over the look of the keyboard again. Very typical Lenovo ThinkPad keyboard. So if you like ThinkPad keyboards, again, this is more of a base Lenovo ThinkPad, but it's a ThinkPad nonetheless. Got your logo there, and again, you got your very pretty AMD stickers there. Okay, so it looks like the screen is 1366 by 768, so kind of what you would expect. So not a shocker. So I think that's all there is to say. You do got your webcam up front, and the bezels are pretty thin. The bezels are pretty thin, and for a ThinkPad, the laptop itself is definitely on the lighter and thinner side, so it doesn't feel as bulky. It's not as bulky as you would think a 15-inch laptop would be. But yeah, that's all there is. It really is all there is to say. So anyway, I'd like to thank you all for watching this unboxing of the Lenovo ThinkPad E585.